Welcome to the World News on Myanmar International. I'm Sophie Wee, and here's the news. On an official visit to Tokyo, Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao warned on Monday, 31st May, that global economic growth remained vulnerable to sovereign debt risks and the possibility of a second downturn, but said his own country's growth remained on track.
The state of Chinese economy is stable, and I believe that it will be able to continue its rapid growth. We have the conditions and ability to reach the goal set for the first period of this year.
At least 74 people were confirmed dead in Guatemala on Sunday, 30th May, a day after Tropical Storm Agatha slammed into the Central American country. More than 74,000 people have fled their homes. Agatha, the first named storm of the 2010 Pacific hurricane season, slammed into the Guatemalan coast near the border of Mexico on Saturday. Residents were forced to flee by the flooding and debris. At least 14 people were believed dead in the town of San Antonio Palopo, 90 miles southeast of Guatemala City, after a huge mudslide engulfed an entire neighborhood.
This is just a normal little road, but eventually it began to grow and broke down all these rocks and sticks. It was terrible because one could hear the screams of many people who had to flee to higher ground.
Rescue workers scrambled to restore communications to towns and villages cut off by the landslides where other victims feared. Hamas condemned the Israeli interception of a Gaza aid convoy on Monday, 31st May. The Israeli military said more than 10 activists were killed during the operation. The final death toll could be higher as the naval commandos who had boarded the convoy were still conducting searches and often encountering violent resistance from pro-Palestinian activists.
We in Hamas consider the Israeli attack on the Freedom Flotilla as a great crime and a huge violation of the international law. Part of the great damages suffered by the people in solidarity on board this fleet, we consider that this fleet message has been delivered. This fleet is today an international case because of these heroes, the internationals in solidarity, and we consider that the occupation through this crime is the one under siege now. Gaza is the one placing the occupation under siege and not the opposite. It has become clear that the occupation victimization is a lie, and it has become clear that it is a lie, and that Gaza is under siege in spite of all these Israeli allegations and lies.
Israeli officials said overnight that naval vessels told the activists by radio to turn back towards Cyprus or to head for the Israeli port of Ashdod near Gaza to unload the 10,000 tons of aid, which Israel would then transfer to the Palestinians in the Hamas-run territory. The convoy, led by a Turkish vessel with 600 people on board, set off in international waters off Cyprus on Sunday in defiance of an Israeli-led blockade of the Gaza Strip and warnings that it would be intercepted. On Sunday, 30th of May, at the annual Plaquemines Parish Seafood Festival in Belle Chase, Louisiana residents ate, drank, and danced to the music of local bands as oil continued to gush from a leaking oil well in the Gulf of Mexico. However, as the attendees celebrated at the annual festival, many people, young and old, shared their thoughts on the current situation on the oil spill and BP's inability to rectify the matter.
This is going to impact us greatly because the oysters is a long process. It's like a 3-year process from a spat to a market-sized oyster that you see back here. So if this goes on, if our oysters are totally killed, it would be at least 3 years before we can come back. It could be a lot longer.
We're in dire straits here. We're in a bad situation. The top coat, it didn't work yesterday, so here we are. Today we might have thought we were going to be in the the mode of starting to be able to clean up. We would hope to know what the end results are. Well, the end results, we don't know when that it's going to be.
Meanwhile, after the failed top kill attempt to pump heavy fuel fluids and blocking materials in the leaking well on Saturday, 29th May, BP is pursuing another option from its undersea toolbox, which could take between 4 to 7 days, and has not guaranteed the process will work, as the procedure has never been attempted before at such a depth. The spill has been flowing since April 20th, when an explosion on the BP Deepwater Horizon rig sank the drilling platform and killed 11 workers. U.S. government scientists estimate 12,000 and 19,000 barrels of oil a day have been pouring into the Gulf of Mexico, creating a disaster about twice the size of the 1989 Exxon Valdez spill. Unconvincing England received 2 own goals from the Japanese defenders to go into the World Cup in an unpromising 2-1 victory in the warm-up match on Sunday, 30th of May. England was slow to start and paid the price as poor marking at a corner allowed Brazilian-born Tulio to turn in a low shot from the edge of the box after just 7 minutes. Meanwhile, Frank Lampard earned a penalty when his free kick was handled in the wall after 54 minutes, but he didn't level the game as Japanese goalkeeper Eiji Kawashima managed to save at the foot of the post. But England managed to draw level in the 72nd minute when Joe Cole's ring-wing cross was headed past Kawashima by Tulio, and 7 minutes from the final whistle, Yuji Nakazawa diverted a low Ashley cross into his own net. England's opening Group C game for the World Cup 2010 on June 12th will be against the United States, followed by matches against Algeria and Slovenia. Japan kick off in Group E on June 14th against Cameroon, before taking on Netherlands and Denmark. That's the end of the world news on Myanmar International. I'm Sophie Wee, and thank you for watching.